Dramatic light on. What is cooking, my cheesy potato cakes? Day 72. Let's cover it. So for exercise today, I did juggling training, more juggling training. Now my record now is a technical 9, but it's actually 8. The reason why I call it a technical 9 is because like juggling go like bam, 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 right? What happened was I got 7 clean ones, and then I messed up my 8 one. But what happened with my 8 one is it fell down to my other foot. So that's why I'm calling it a technical 9. But I got 8 kicks in, 8 proper kicks in. Yeah. That's about it for exercise. It might not sound like a lot, but I was out there training for quite a bit, so it's probably more than you think. Then for intelligence, it's gonna be very similar today. It's constantly studying SAT, man. I have my SAT coming up. I really don't want to take it again, so I just have to lock in, take my SAT. Yeah. And then for discipline today, I just cleaned my room. Yeah, I just cleaned my room. There's not much to talk about for discipline today. I mainly just cleaned my room, grabbed my stuff, and that's about it. Now, let's talk about the important stuff. So recently, I watched the Pokemon Masters 8 tournament. The reason why was I was gonna brush up on my Chinese a little bit, so I just watched it in Chinese because I'm in Taiwan. So they have the Chinese dub or Mandarin dub for Pokemon. Now, I really like the Masters 8 tournament. I think the final battle between Pikachu and Charizard, that was like emotional stuff. But I think personally I would have wrote it differently. Now, so this is the original lineups, right? The original matchups. So the original matchups were Leon versus Alon. Leon won this. Then it was, I believe, Cynthia versus Iris. Was it Cynthia Iris? No. It was Leon Alon, Diantha Lance, and then Steven Ash, right? Then it was Cynthia Ash, Leon Diantha, and then the finals were Leon versus Ash. Now I think this was a decent one because this is a decent lineup. They were able to tell some interesting parts of it using this lineup, but I think they could have done better. Now, the reason why is throughout the whole Pokemon anime, everybody, and I mean everybody, was glazing Cynthia, and Cynthia is the GOAT. So I think, like, if you're gonna make a tournament, right? I think and a tournament to end off the whole Pokemon series. I think tournament final should have been Cynthia versus Ash. I think that's only fair. But it's like Leon was built out throughout the whole season, right? And that's what they wanted to do. Leon is the #1 ranked Pokemon trainer. So I'm gonna write. I have 2 lineups that I thought of, and I'm gonna say it to you. First one is what I would have loved, which is Cynthia versus Ash as the final battle, and the second one is slightly more plausible. Now, #1, the key thing is I want to let's just cover the first one, which is what the anime could have done. I think something they could have done was Ash versus Alon first instead of Leon. So Ash gets his run back versus Alon, and he wins. Then Leon will still be on the other side of the bracket. it will be Cynthia versus Iris again. Then it will become Diantha versus Lance. And basically, the only thing that really changed was Alon's and Steven's position. Now, there's a small problem with it, because it's like we don't really we've never seen how strong Steven was, and we don't really know the full potential of Leon at that time. So we don't really have anything to scale Leon. But throughout the bracket, we'll just figure out how strong Leon truly is, right? That's what I think what could have been a better bracket if you just changed those two fights. But this is the one I really want to talk about. The first change I would make, this is what I would have loved to see. The first change is all 6 versus 6. All 6 versus 6 battles. Because the first one's being 3v3 kind of be yucky to me. But it's actually fine if the first one's 3v3. The reason why is because, yet again, it will be Ash versus Alon as the first battle. Then it will be Leon versus somebody, right? We can decide this later. Then it will be Lance versus Iris. And then Cynthia versus Diantha. Now, the reason why I structured it like this, so it will be Leon versus Steven again. The reason why I structured it like this is, number one, Ash can get his run back on Alon. And number two, Cynthia will be on the other side of the bracket. Now, something key I want to mention is, I think throughout this tournament, they should be able to, number one, switch teams, and number two, Ash should be able to use all his Pokemon from Kanto. The reason why I say this is so Greninja can get his run back against Alon. So Ash wins versus Alon, but then Greninja gets to come back and then win, right? Because the Kalos Cup, the Kalos Finals was actually tragic. Then Leon versus Steven. I think Leon wins, and it's the same thing. Lance versus Iris. Now this can go either way. I'm personally leaning more toward Iris, because if Iris can beat another champion, it really shows her development as a character, how much she developed and how strong she is right now, right? So I think Iris beating Lance is a fair thing. And then with Diantha versus Cynthia, it will be with Diantha versus Cynthia, it will be Cynthia winning. It will be kind of close, not really. The main thing is just showing how truly monstrously strong Cynthia is, right? And even though and you don't have to have her just solo sweep the whole thing with her Garchomp. You can show how strong she is by showing how she perfectly maneuvers around Diantha's Pokemon with her Pokemon, subbing in a Pokemon so she gets type effectiveness, playing around speed or whatever, right? Just to show how dominant Cynthia is compared to Diantha. Then is Ash versus Leon. Now, this is where I would say Ash would use his Galar team, and this is where Ash uses his Galar team. The fight will go kind of similar to the original final. Of course, the animation at the end will not be as hype, but that's fine. It'll be very similar, but Pikachu versus Charizard will be a little less close. Pikachu would he wouldn't need the power friendship to win, right? He gets his run back against Leon, and now Ash is in the finals. And then Iris versus Cynthia, it will be the original fight. We already know Iris developed a lot as a trainer, but then she's up against Cynthia the GOAT, right? And then Cynthia just I think this fight, Cynthia will actually sack a few Pokemon, and then it might be looking really good for Iris, where it's she's 3 Pokemon up, but the thing is, the way she sets up for a Garchomp sweep, and then just Garchomp sweeps through 3 Pokemon, right? And then it's the finals, Ash versus Cynthia. Now, the reason why I wanted like the original Pokemon to come back for this is because this is the final fight of the series, and I like how the Galar team won, but it's kind of tragic we didn't get to see the original GOAT of Ash's team, right? Because he had so many awesome Pokemon that I would have loved to see at a Masters 8 tournament. So this way, the Galar team gets his time to shine by beating Leon, right? Greninja, let's say he has to go back to Kalos to do whatever Greninja had to do, right? So Greninja wins his match, he goes back to Kalos. Now we have an open spot. Now, Ash's team, right? Ash's team, it will be Pikachu first, then we'll have the GOAT for Galar, Lucario, and he'll Mega Lucario. He'll have Infernape, Charizard, which is 2 fire types, but it's fine. Sceptile, right? I would like Greninja could fit in, but I think Greninja just dipping out for his responsibilities makes it slightly better. Now, what can we put here? We can put in like Gengar would be good, right? Personally, I love Snorlax, but I don't think Snorlax would be a finals Pokemon. Looking at historically, Ash is every one of strongest Pokemon owned by Ash. You can put in Dragonite, right? You can put in Dragonite. You can put in like Lycanroc, because that like representing Alola. You can put in Kukuruk, the crocodile guy, right? Like, I think that place could be interesting. And then, right, the finals will end up like they keep trading out Pokemon, and then it's now Pikachu versus Cynthia, and you can have Cynthia's Garchomp instead of doing whatever that Dynamax on Togekiss is, right? That's so boring. I think, yeah, like competitively, Togekiss Dynamax is better, and Garchomp Mega Evolving sucks more. That doesn't matter. It's the anime. Pikachu can hit electric ground types in the anime, so it will be Pikachu versus Mega Garchomp, and throughout the whole fight, Mega Garchomp would just look like a demon, like a straight up demon, and then it knocks Pikachu down, just like how Pikachu got knocked down during that Charizard fight. He gets it back up with the help of his whole team. Like, this is how I imagine it, right? He gets like the flashback memory of everybody, and then he looks behind him. All the Ash's Pokemon pop out of their Pokeballs, and they're just cheering for Pikachu right behind him. And Pikachu gets up, he does the final Thunderbolt versus Garchomp, and like he does like Dragon Rush or something. They face head to head, and Pikachu wins. Oh, that would've been so sick. But I mean, like, I can't complain. It is too, like, the original one was already really good. Alright, that's me. That's enough about me gushing over Pokemon. Bye bye.